Hey Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com. Welcome tonight to my stamp room. I'm hoping that I got everything working. I was having a little bit of an issue a little bit earlier. My internet connection hasn't been the greatest. So if I'm lagging behind, there's not much that I can do. It's the speed that I have and the speed that you have. So welcome to my stamp room. As you can see, Petra, she's going to probably hang out under the... Oh, good. David can hear me on YouTube. Thanks. She's probably just going to hang out there. I need to check. I think I might have just shut down my... I might have just shut down one of my... Give me just a few seconds here to bring something up. I think that I shut down my comments on Facebook, and I don't want to miss out on those. So I am going to make sure that I have them. Good. I had them for a second, but I must have clicked the wrong button. Okay, so anyway, I've got a couple of things to demonstrate tonight. It's not going to be a very long, probably, hopefully an hour, maybe even shorter. My husband and I are getting ready in the morning to head out to California. His niece is getting married, and so I still haven't packed. So I have to do a couple of laundry and get some packing done, but we're pretty low maintenance, so it should be fine. I can see that people can hear me on YouTube. That's fabulous. And I'm hoping that people can hear me on Facebook. Nobody has responded. Oh, yep. Diana, glad you're back. Internet here isn't that great tonight either. Yeah, it's tough. I don't know what's been going on lately, but we've been having a lot of issues with our cell service and our internet. And so anyway, this will be recorded. So if you missed it, you can always go back onto YouTube and watch it later. So we should be good. I am going to pull up my screen. Oh, I didn't check to see if I was hearing from anybody on my website, which I'm getting messages, so it must be. Yeah, good. Julie's over there. Barb's over there. Yay. And two Barbs. Yeah, good. And Jana too. So good. It looks like things are going great. I love it. I love it when it all works. You know, about a half hour ago, I started pulling stuff up to get started, and I couldn't connect. So I thought, well, this ought to be interesting. So anyway, it's all good. So just a couple of reminders. I do this every time, but I want to make sure that if there's new people, everybody knows. So this big arrow right here, is this little gear. That tells you what speed you're at. So if it's lagging a little bit, and sometimes if you drop that number down a little, you click on it and drop the number down, you might get a better, you might be able to keep up with this better. The picture won't be as clear, but so anyway, there's that one. And then there's this one over here, which is an auto refresh button right here. Does auto refresh comments. If that is checked, when you go into, write something, if you're writing a comment, it refreshes every 90 seconds. And it doesn't matter. It's always 90 seconds. It doesn't matter if you're in the middle of writing something or not. It will refresh and you'll lose what you said. So if you want to make sure that you don't lose that, just go ahead and click it, unclick it, and then you can refresh over here on this side. And that will give you the newest comments. So most of the comments are meant for me. Sometimes I miss them and people answer them for me, which is great. I appreciate that. I'm not getting on your Facebook page. I'm not getting anything. Okay, well, we are going to boy, it sure shows that I'm on there. Jewel, shoot. I'm going to reply to her just a second. Hopefully she sees my message. I just said to, if you're having trouble, refresh your screen. Usually that works. So if there's somebody else over on my Facebook that can see me, will you let me know? Pat says she can. Oh, I'm cutting in and out. Okay, well, I'm hoping it all works. Okay, so beforehand, I actually asked if anybody had any questions. I did get one question today, and that was, how do you recommend cleaning stamps using the Stamparatus? So that's the only question I got today. I'm gonna sneak over to my stamp site or my craft table, and we'll get started on that. So pull that up. Now let's see if I can pull up the other camera. Oh, yay! Okay, so before I answer that question, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about these cards. So this is one of the stamp sets that's retiring, the little bunny from the Occasions mini catalog. I got this card. It's just adorable, and that's just one of the gray gingham ribbons tied in a knot and attached onto there. Cute little card. I got this from Jill Olson, my upline, just as a congratulations. You're doing great card, which is always nice. And then I was just playing with it one day and made a couple cards, and I used, this is actually Pool Party. No, Soft Sky. Soft Sky cardstock, Soft Sky ink. And I just love the look of this bunny. It's so realistic. It's like it's a three series stamp. So there's a solid one and then a little bit of fuzz and then a little bit more fuzz. But it was fun to play with. I just wanted to show those because this stamp set is actually going away, which is kind of sad. Okay, so the question was the Stamparatus. Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, the Stamparatus is a new tool that Stampin' Up! Has out, and they did do a limited number of pre-sales. You had to order it like in December to get it, and people are starting to get it now. But I had a question about it. So it has the 2 plates. We'll talk a little bit about it. This will be available in the catalog, the new catalog that's coming out in June. And as long as I mentioned it, I'm going to say it now. If you have placed an order with me over the last year, you will be getting a new catalog in the mail. I just did all the checking off today to make sure I had everybody on the list. And if you, so if you place an order with me, you'll be getting one in the mail. If you haven't placed an order and you do not have a demonstrator and you're interested in the new catalog, they'll be shipping out in May. Send me an email and I will get one out to the mail to you. It's Diane@DDStamps.com. Okay, so anyway, this is the Stamparatus. It's a stamping tool, which is great. And she asked how it's cleaned. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of the times for my Stamparatus, especially when I'm cleaning, I use one of these absorber cloths. And this is just, you can tell that I've used it quite often. This is actually clean. It went through the washing machine already. But it doesn't get on the stamps. So this is just an absorber. It's found in the car aisle of your local big discount store. And I cut it up into like 8 pieces. And it's just a cloth that's how I clean my Stamparatus. That's how I clean my stamps. But I will tell you, it's my understanding, and I have not seen it yet, but there is some kind of a cleaner pad in the new catalog. But I started using those absorbers a couple years ago. I love them because they don't leave any lint on your stamps. So anyway, that's the Stamparatus. I do have a video that shows how to use it. I'm actually not using it tonight, but I just wanted to let you know about that. So I'm going to make a card. I have no idea what was on my list of what I was going to do, but I'm going to go ahead and make my first card now, and then I'll go back and see if there's any questions. So the first card that I'm making is using a couple of different kinds of cardstock. This is an 8.5 by 11 cut in half. So it's cut at 5.5. You can score it at 4 1/4. Sometimes I score it, sometimes I don't. This one actually I did. This is Tranquil Tide. This is one of the Stampin' Up! Colors that's in color that's sticking around. I've got a little square of Night of Navy to use for a punch. I've got a piece of Very Vanilla for stamping, and then I have a piece of, this is Crumb Cake, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. That's going to be one of my bases. And then I have this piece that I actually cut 4 by 5 1/4, same size, that I'm going to put on the inside of my card. So let me show you the card I'm going to make. It's pretty simple. Using that punch and some paper, but I just want to show you quickly. I like to put a piece of cardstock inside my cards to stamp on, and then I can write on there too, or if I'm writing to somebody. So, okay, so we're going to begin with this stamp set, Truly Tailored, and the punch that coordinates. And right now this is a bundle. You can get them together and save 10%. This is actually the same stamp set that I use in this month's tutorial. And so I send out a tutorial free to anybody who places an order with me. And if you order $40 worth of product, you'll actually get a little packet of goodies to make the projects that are in my tutorial, which actually uses all the stuff that I'm playing with tonight. although this is a different card. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some stamps here. I probably could have done this earlier. As you can see on this stamp set, I haven't used it very much. I've only used these 2 stamps, but that's all right. We'll do that. So let me grab another block. One of the reasons I love to do this online is because everything is right here when I forget something, which I'm very good at. Okay, so this is some of the the Gentleman. I don't know. I can't remember what the paper's called. I'm looking around to see in my room. Anyway, this is some of the different patterns that you get. It's very nice. It's very good for masculine cards. There's actually 6 sheets. I only have 4 here, but you can see where you get some really great prints. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this punch. And I will tell you that this particular punch makes the next catalog. This one makes it. The stamp set I don't believe does, but there's going to be another stamp set that's going to coordinate with this punch in the new catalog. I don't have my copy of my new catalog. I wasn't able to go to the on-stage event this year. It's one of the first I've missed in a long time. It was very sad, but it was just the way life is sometimes, and I just couldn't swing it. Partly because I was heading out for this wedding tomorrow. So I'm also going to punch this piece of cardstock, Night of Navy cardstock. And those are the pieces I need. And then the stamping part. Interestingly enough, I don't see these stamp pads here. So I have to find them. Hopefully. Tranquil Tide, Night of Navy. I've been doing a lot of cleaning up in my stamp room and packing up things that are retiring, or at least moving them to a different area for now till I decide what I'm going to do with them. So, but both of these products were sticking around. So Tranquil Tide, I'm going to go ahead and ink up this stamp. Stamp it on my cardstock. And then I'm going to take the stamp. Ooh, almost did it upside down. That's one of the bad things about not putting your stickers on. I don't always put my stickers on, especially when I'm in a hurry. And sometimes I stamp it upside down, which doesn't matter if I'm going to cut it out, but I'm going to go ahead and punch this one out too. And then this is going to go to the inside of my card. So we'll just line that up. And you can see when I cut that 4 1/4 by 5 1/4, it just gives me a nice frame, even frame around the edge of my card. So that can get set aside. Now this piece, we are going to, so what I did for this, I'm kind of rambling, is I just kind of set these up with the sides of the paper that I liked. And I'm going to just kind of place them where I want them, just to help me line up. Nice thing about this is every one of them is punched exactly the same, so you get a real quilted pattern. And any kind of designer paper, any kind of cardstock, any kind of colors that you do this with, it's going to look great. It's going to look like a quilt. So I'm just going to do that for right now. And I'm kind of even here. What I did is I made sure that these were kind of even here. Once I've done that, I'm going to pick this piece up. And once I get this one laid down where I kind of want it, like there, then we're good to go. And then I'm just going to go ahead and that one in. Now this Night of Navy one, I'm just going to set there for a place setter for now. Bring this piece. Oh, that's a pretty card. See, it's hard. You have to pick which side of the paper you like the best. And lay that one down there. Pull that off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip this over and just anything that's hanging over can just get trimmed up. And then it looks fancy. Okay, so then this piece, what I'm going to do is I punched it, but I'm just going to go ahead with my scissors and just trim right around the edge of the stamped image. I probably should do it so you can see it. But I'm just using that straight edge just to cut all the way around. And then I'm going to take some of this corduroy ribbon that we have. I think this is so pretty. Corduroy must be coming back, huh? And what I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to lay some adhesive onto my Night of Navy piece. And these are actually Just going to hang down a little bit. Like that. And then I'm going to grab, of course I always forget something, so I'm going to grab a couple dimensionals. And I'm going to put the dimensionals on the back of this piece. And attach that. Make sure I'm in the camera. There we go. So that once I cut that, it just gives it a nice trimmed out blue edge. And then I'm going to go ahead and probably should use my, I have my really good ribbon cutting scissors, but I'll just use these paper cutting scissors. Uh-oh. There we go. Once I've got that done, then I can take this piece, and again, I'm going to do it. I wasn't going to, but I think I am going to put a couple dimensionals on there just because I like the lift that it gives it, and it adds a little texture to your card. And then that's going to slide right there. Ta-da! Front of the card is done. Put some seal on the back of it, and then attach it to my Tranquil Tide piece. And I've got a super quick and easy masculine card. You could do it with any cardstock, anything. I actually only use Tranquil Tide. I'm not really sure why I had the Night and Navy ink, why I grabbed that, but I only needed the one because I only used one ink. Now I'm going to show you quickly when I'm talking about these absorbers. So they're just damp. So when I wash them, I just wash them. I don't dry them, and then you put them back in. They're like used to clean windows in your car. And then you can see how it just gets that ink off there. Does a great job. And after I've used this for most of the day, it'll end up drying out and be hard like this. And then I just toss them all in the washing machine when I've gone through all 8, and then give them a quick wash and spin, and then put them back in this container they came in. They came in this container with a cover, and you just stuff them all back in there and put the cover on, and I'm good to go for. Yeah, usually at least every time I stamp, if I'm doing it for a long time, I'll use one for like the day, and then so 8 pieces gives me a lot to stamp with or to clean with. So there's my first card. Oh, I'm going to come back on screen here and try to answer some questions. Hopefully people can still hear and see me. Yeah, it looks like people are, so cool. Nobody's got any words of wisdom out there. Okay, so that's awesome. Let me pull up my screen here because I know that I've got a couple things that I want to talk about and I don't want to forget. So I'll pull up my slides. My slides keep me on track. So just so you're aware, the new catalog will be out in June 1st. So right now, Stampin' Up! Has their last chance products that are this is the last chance. They are definitely retiring. There's a whole bunch of stuff, and you should check those out. There's, all kinds of products that are retiring. And let's see what else we got here. A couple other things I want to talk about. Oh, the clearance rack. They updated the clearance rack, and so there's some items on there that are 60% off. And I will tell you right now, some of my favorite paper from the holiday mini catalog is on the clearance rack at a very good price. So don't miss out on that. There's some papers on there. I think some things are gone, but go check it out because there's some good things in there. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the color revamp. I know that. Oh, Denise asks, when you store the damp absorbers in a closed container, do they get mildew? No, they don't actually, because it does have a little bit of a vent in there. That's how you're supposed to store them, I guess, Denise. They come when you get them, they're damp. So that's, I think, as long as you wash them and they're clean when they go back in the tube, they do not get mildewy, because I wouldn't have put up with it for this last couple of years. Yes, Lana asked about, you could probably use any shape punch for that. Yes, any shape punch that you have, because they all coordinate so they can kind of be put together. We'll work with that card. Punches are great because they're easy and everything is the same shape. Okay, so the color revamp. Stampin' Up! is doing a color revamp in the new catalog for 2018. I know a lot of people have heard about it. I sent out information and I have it on my blog. But I wanted you to just be aware. These are the colors that are going. Always Artichoke, Chocolate Chip, Eggplant, Elegant Eggplant, Island Indigo, Marina Mist, Perfect Plum, Pink Pirouette, Rose Red, Soft Sky, Tangerine Tango, Tempting Turquoise, and Wild Wasabi, and Wisteria Wonder. That's a lot of colors that they took out of our color line. So the inks, the refills, and the paper are on the retiring list. The other ones that are going out are the 2016, 2018 in colors. So you want to make sure that you have refills and cardstock for those. So that's Dapper Denim, Emerald Envy, Peekaboo Peach, and Sweet Sugar Plum. And Flirty Flamingo actually is coming back into our color line this year. When they did the revamp, they brought that one back. So the other thing is that when you look at the list of what's going, every stamp pad is on the list. And the reason for that is because they redesigned the stamp pad. So it's not, it's the same colors. It's just a different stamp pad. It's much easier to open. In fact, maybe I can quick show you one. I'll come back on here. There we go. I'll go back over there and show you real quickly if I can find one here. There's one. Just so you're aware of what's going on. It's okay if you have the old styles. Keep them. So this is the new style. This is the new ink pad. It actually is easier to open. Well, it's tighter, but it just flips open like a compact. So remember how we had to have those little dots and you pushed it and then opened it. Okay, so this one's just like opening up a compact and then it slides in. And that's the difference. I guess one of the things that Stampin' Up! Has to do every few years for the patent is they have to either make a new mold or I don't know, they had to make a new mold or design a new ink pad. And so they decided as a business thing, because it's been so many years since we had the other ones, to make some improvements to it. And they got demonstrators across the country, across the world actually, to give them input on what they wanted in an ink pad. What if they could change it, what would they change? And so that's how we get changes in Stampin' Up's product. They don't always come when we want them to come, but as a product is released, we always find things that you could do to it to make it just a little bit better. And that's some of the stuff we're getting. So these are the in colors for the 2018-2020. These are the new colors on this side. The Lovely Lipstick, Grapefruit Grove, Pineapple Punch, Call Me Clover, and Blueberry Bushel. And of course, these are last year's in colors, and so they stay in the line with us. They're great colors, and they're going to stay right where they are, and they're not going anywhere. Okay, I was just checking to see. Oh, I need to check. I'm going to check one more place for comments because I always, yeah, we do have a few comments here. Looks like I'm loud and clear over on my website, according to Debbie. Julie likes my card. Thank you. And Georgie's over there too. So good. Everybody should be able to hear me. These are 10 new colors that are coming into our line this year. So these are brand new colors, never before seen in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. I think probably the ones I'm the most happy about are the purples and the greens. I think they're beautiful. But when you see them all put together into the color line, it's amazing. So this is the new color line coming out in 2018. And as you can see down here, there are 6 colors that made a comeback into this color line. When I heard that they were doing a color change, my wish was for Blackberry Bliss and Coastal Cabana to come back. Those were 2 of my absolute favorites. Actually, Blackberry Bliss is the color that my son's fiance had picked for her wedding. And it took me a little bit to find the cardstock, but I did. And so anyway, Blackberry Bliss came back, so we're good. We don't have to beg people for cardstock anymore. And Coastal Cabana, which is this color here, was my absolute favorite in color ever. And I'm glad that that one's back. So I think the color line is beautiful. That you can see that we still have 5 various families, 10 colors in each. So what they did with the neutrals is they actually pulled out the black and the white and brought in the Merlot and the Night of Navy and the Moss Meadow to make it a full 10 colors. So I like that. I just think it's really bright and it's really cheery, and I'm really looking forward to spending some time with them. Sylvie asked, will Stampin' Up! Be redesigning the ink pad caddy as well? Now the ink pad caddy is on the clearance rack. I'm under the impression that the new ink pads will fit it. They're just a little bit loose, but my guess would be is if they're retiring that caddy, there's not a new one coming out in the next catalog, but that doesn't mean down the road there won't be a new caddy that fits these. But I'm under the impression, and I've been told by Stampin' Up! That the ink pads will still fit in the caddy. It might just be a little bit loose. So I hope that helps. Let me see it. Uh-oh, I'm going to lose my, oh, there we go. I was kind of worried about my mouse tonight, of course. You know, I didn't, let me come back up. I didn't check my mouse pad, my battery level before I started. And then as soon as I start, it starts to tell me it's low. Good. I'm glad I answered that for you. If anybody else has any questions, please ask. I do have a couple more things to share with you. So I'm going back over to my stamp table. So bear with me. And I have to show you this card. This is cute. So I send out packets of goodies with my to my customers, and every time Emily sends me a cute card as a thank you, which I appreciate. I love this one with the daisy punch and that big jewel, and she used some of the fun paper. So thank you for that. I appreciate it, Emily. It's always fun to get some fun mail at the post office instead of just bills. Okay. Now I wasn't sure. I guess I'll show some of the new products that I do have. I'll show you a couple things. Some of this you may have seen on other people's blogs, but I haven't had a whole lot of time. So some of the new things, these are the new in colors. So there's the Clover, Pineapple, Blueberry Bushel, Lovely Lipstick, and Grapefruit Grove. So I have those 5 colors. These are some cute pearls that come in different colors to coordinate with a suite of products that are actually going to be available in May for customers. So I'm excited about that. We got a couple stamp sets that I did get. One of them is Love What You Do, and then a Make a Difference alphabet set, which is kind of fun because as you see, they'll go together. But up here we have double letters. So if you're stamping a word and you put it all on your block, you can just use the double letters to save some space. Here's the numbers. It's fun. A new embossing folder, which I haven't even ran to my Big Shot yet, but it's one of our thicker embossing folders. Cute image on there, and I've seen some great stuff done with it. Mint Macaron, which is another color that's coming back. I did get a little bit of that in a paper pack that I got. So that was nice to get some of the Mint Macaron. Oh, I like that color when it was here. Here's a velvet ribbon. It's beautiful. I was looking to see what color this, oh, rich raspberry. Pretty. A little kit. This is a cute little kit, which I haven't played with yet, but it's got labels and little doodads and clips and self-adhesive little silver flowers and baker's twine and a cute box. I'm going to use this box after I'm done with it. And I'm just going to actually fill it with cards and give it to somebody. And then this paper that I absolutely fell in love with. And it's even prettier. I'll pull it out here because it's so beautiful. So this is a rich raspberry, and then it's got that flower print, which is awesome. Here's a green flower. I'll show you a couple cards I made with it too. And then some words on the back. This one, I hope, yeah, you can see it in there. You can see the shimmer. So this has an iridescent look to it, and it's beautiful. And then a green print on the back. And this one too. You can see the iridescent flowers and then some dots on the back. And this one also has the iridescent shiny look to it with a lovely print. And this one too, I haven't even cut this one yet because it's just so pretty. But beautiful paper. It's a big pack. Oh, it just makes the colors pop and I love it. So let me show you a couple cards I made with that. So this is one I did. And then we have these iridescent doilies. And on this one, I actually just sponged some rich raspberry on there and then wiped it off. So it gave it just a light shade of purple. And it kind of coordinates with those pearls. And then this one is just a couple layers with some velvet in the background, a little piece of vellum. Pretty easy cards. They were, this one I did again with, shaded that up with the purple, the rich raspberry. And then you can see my flowers? They each have a little pearl in them. Because I got that big pack of pearls, so I thought, oh, what the heck? Let's put a bunch of pearls in there. I just thought it was kind of fun. I can see that some of them have moved a little bit. And then I colored the little flower in with just a little yellow. But there's just a couple of different projects that I did with that bundle. And like I said, that bundle's going to be available beginning May 1st to customers. There's a couple of things. They're going to have 3 different bundles. So what was the other stamps that I had next to the alphabet? Let me go check. I will. I have. Let me find them here. The 3. I don't know if I showed them all. So this was the alphabet. This is the Love What You Do stamp set. You can see it's got same font, some great images. And then this last one, if you get the big bundle of product, you get this Statement of the Heart stamp for free, I believe. So, and they're all done in the same fonts in that big packet of product. So, I hope that helps. Hope that answers your questions. Yeah, Bobby loves those pearls. I know, they're so cute and they're so delicate. Good. Diane says she can still see and hear me. Hi, Cindy. I know the Stamparatus will be the new catalog. Will it be available immediately for purchase or will there be a waiting period to receive one once it's ordered? It is my understanding, Cindy, that I believe that all the Stamparatuses have gone out to all those people that pre-ordered. And so beginning on the first day, June 1st, that you can order from the catalog, I think it's June 1st or June 2nd, the Stamparatus will be available. And I know that there are people across the country that want to get their hands on one. So I would recommend you order it the first day. Because I would hate to see it run out. But I know Stampin' Up! Is frantically trying to keep them in stock. Yeah, Jewel, the new colors to me are beautiful. I had actually gotten a little sneak peek a while back, and I really wasn't sure about them. I mean, they were okay. But now with the new color line, it made a huge difference because it really just added to that color line. I'm telling you, I just am amazed. In fact, I'm going to pull up because I want to talk to you about something else, but I'm going to pull up the colors for just a second. Oh, let's see. I just think that this color line is absolutely gorgeous. And I have always been a Regals person. I always loved the Regals. They were always my favorite from as long as I can remember. But I now am like totally into the brights and the subtles. I think that this color revamp was probably, it's the best I've ever seen it. And I don't know what it is. And I think the neutrals look great, especially with having those colors in there. It's really just brightened the whole line up. So I'm excited about the color changes. Okay, so April's tutorial, as I told you, is a truly tailored tutorial using the products that I just did the last card with. So if you do decide to place an order this month and it's over $40, you'll get all the products in a packet. I'm starting to get them together, but I won't get them all together till next week to send out. But you get the products to make all the cards in my tutorials. So the ribbons and the embellishments and whatever else, the buttons, whatever happens to be in there. So if you decide to order and your order is over $150, do not use the hostess code because you need to get your hostess benefits yourself. And I will make sure that you get a packet. So that's not a problem. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and sneak on over, back over to my stamp table. I'm going to check for messages here one more time. You're welcome, Cindy. Let me, oops. I just want to make sure that I haven't missed anybody on my website, which I have. So let's make sure. Julie likes the cards. Good. I love that. Share what you love. Tana loves the new colors. Oh, good. Mary liked that. You can put a little, you can put color on those shiny doilies, and it doesn't give up. I mean, it just tints them just a little bit, but it's nice to have that, just that little bit of color on there. And then of course this one doesn't have any color on it, so you can see the difference. So that's fun. Okay, so my next thing I'm going to make, I'm going to show you a little technique that I shared with some of my customers last week at a workshop. So I'm going to go ahead and use, I'm going to use this rubber mat just as what I'm working on because it's waterproof. This rubber mat is great for adhesive because you can stick adhesive to it, so like it doesn't stick. But if you're gluing something, it'll clean right up. But I'm going to use it as a palette right now. So what I'm going to do is drop some color. I had to think about how I was doing this. Oh, I better grab some paper towel. That's what I did. I'm just going to use that as a barrier. You can tell I haven't done this for a while. So I'm just going to put a couple things of paper towel down. I'll use that rubber mat underneath so that it doesn't wreck my faux wood. And this is a piece of glossy cardstock, as you can see. And I actually took a piece of glossy cardstock and I just chopped it up. This technique that I'm using, a little goes a long way. So I'm going to drop some rich raspberry drops on there. A couple drops of crushed curry. And Tangerine Tango. Now this Tangerine Tango is actually a color that is retiring. Oops. I had to put a little too much. That's all right. So there's my colors. And then I'm going to grab, I had a little spritzer that I went and filled up. Oh, here it is. So I filled up a spritzer with water before I got started tonight. And I'm just going to make sure that when I spritz it, it's actually spraying down and not spraying at me. But I'm just going to add water. And this is just water to make those colors bleed out. And then I'm going to take other pieces of cardstock and just lay them on top of it and do prints. And it's just wild what you get. Each one's a little bit different. Are they beautiful? I love these colors together. So it's probably not going to have very much on it because it's not very wet anymore. But it still gives a great print. So that's all you do for this technique. And then you let them dry. And this one, they dry fairly quickly. And if you want to hurry it up, you can actually pop it, with a heat gun. But the colors with that glossy cardstock is just beautiful. This is the wettest one. Take some of the color off. Actually, the paper towel gives a little bit of texture, just does a little bit different things to it. This one's pretty light, but it still works out good. So they just need to set aside to dry. And then I'm going to show you what I did with them. So I took this die, the Happy Birthday Thinlit die. Let me grab it here. I'm not going to cut these because they're wet, but this is the die that I use, the Happy Birthday. I love this die. You can do a lot with it. And I cut it out on one of these pieces of cardstock. So this is actually the piece that I cut out. So it's dried, and then this I cut out. But what I did with this one is I pulled it out of there, and then I kept all my little inside pieces, and I attached it. So this was actually supposed to be like the garbage, but I attached it to the cardstock with the different layers and put it on it. It took a little bit of time, but it don't have to be in a hurry. This is the piece that I cut out. So I took that piece of glossy cardstock that I cut out, and I just put the die on there. And I actually can see the background. I textured it with one of our textures. folders, and then I just tied a ribbon with the rich raspberry ribbon. That's going away. And then I stamped the inside with the, I used this stamp set, Happy Birthday Gorgeous. And actually you can get this and the Happy Birthday die as a bundle. They're both going into the next catalog, so they'll both be available. But they won't be a bundle. So that's the two cards I made. One with the scraps and one with the actual pieces of glossy cardstock. And I just love these backgrounds. In fact, they would make beautiful birthday cards. Even with just a black, if you just cut out a black happy birthday and stuck it on there, or even one of the brighter colors, it would be gorgeous. But fun technique, gives me several different backgrounds to play with. I can stamp on them, I can cut them out. But it just was a lot of fun to kind of play with different colors and come up with something. So that was fun. Yeah, Cindy loves that technique. I do too, because it's so easy. Some people I think have done it with rubbing alcohol, and the rubbing alcohol dries a little bit quicker, and I don't know how much the cardstock actually moves, but the cardstock holds up well underneath all the water that you have on it. So I love that technique. Just kind of fun. I'd like to see if you play with it like I do. I just chop up my glossy cardstock into quarters so that I can usually get 4 good printings. I could probably have in the middle one there, I probably could have sprayed that again and reactivated some of that ink. But you can see how it just changes a little bit each time. And I kind of like the white space. I'm okay with that. But it's just really a lot of fun. A couple butterflies on there or some real bold images would be fabulous and super easy. Glossy cardstock is what I used. I love that birthday die too. And in the next, is that birthday die in the next catalog? I think it is. I think we get a thank you or something in the next catalog. Similar, only says thank you. So that's awesome. It's always fun. Like I said, I don't have my catalog, so I couldn't even show it to you if I did, but I have seen a preview of it. And I'm looking forward to next week when I get to order my own. So hostess code, this is the code. This is the hostess code for this month. It's actually down in the descriptions too. And tonight, because I didn't really have anything available to do a drawing for the cards that I made, I hadn't thought of a good contest. I'm actually going to pull some extra door prize drawings for stamp sets. So let me grab them because I pulled them out earlier today. And I've picked a number. I guess I better pick a couple more numbers. How we do this is a door prize drawing is, there's a button on Facebook, and there's a link on the YouTube description down below, and there's a link on my website for the door prize. I am going to pick a couple numbers. I'm just writing them down because I have no idea how many people are watching. Okay. So I'll put them in order that I wrote them down. And each person so what happens with the door prize is you put your name in there, and I'm going to check it for, yeah, my dog, isn't she exciting? You put your name in the door prize drawing. It all gets populated into a spreadsheet, and then as it gets populated from all the various places all over the internet, you fall into a spreadsheet with a number, and that's how I pick who gets to win. This is a good time to say last time for questions, because I'm actually going to be done here shortly. Hi, Anita in California. I did not use shimmery cardstock. I used glossy cardstock. We have 2 different cardstocks. Oh, Nancy liked that technique too. Good. So we have 2. Shimmery cardstock has a little shimmer to it, and the glossy cardstock is got a coating over it, so the ink sits to the top. Just two different ways to do it. Okay, so door prize drawing. Oh, I guess. Oh, okay. Looks like people are getting in there. I'm going to come on screen. And how I'm going to do this is the first person whose number is drawn, I'm going to give away 3 stamp sets. So I'm going to give away this one called Thankful Life, which is a fun 2-step stamp set. So on this particular stamp, if you see these 3 stamps here, if you stamp them all, they line up. So you could stamp these all 3 in different colors, and then they'll line up, and it's a big thing of flowers in the vase. That's a cool one. I've got Beautiful Peacock from Celebration that I'm going to give away, and then I also have Cozy Cottage, which was a hostess set out of the Occasions catalog. So the first person gets to pick which one they want, and then the second person, and then the third person. That's how we do this. So, okay. I'm just checking for questions. Check one more time for questions. I know, Lisa can't wait for the new catalog. I know, right? It always kind of freaks me out a little bit because it happens so fast. Anyway, so the first person that wins a stamp set, and I'm just going to have to write this down, is Vince. Vince Ripley is the first winner. So Vince, you're going to need to let me know which stamp set you want. I don't know where you're watching at, but maybe you can post up a comment or send me an email. But cottage, peacocks, or flowers or vases. Let me know. People will be waiting. He's probably getting some pointers from his significant other. Okay, second choice goes to number 54, Kay Madsen. So Kay, you need to send me an email and let me know, or a message. You can message me on Facebook too. So you can comment on YouTube, you can comment on Facebook, you can comment on my website, or you can send me an email. And you get to choose the second one after Vince is done. And then the next person who is the winner is Tana Nelson. Yay! So Tana, you're going to get what's left over, but they're all great sets. So hopefully you'll get one that you don't already have. I still have not heard from Vince. So if I don't hear from Vince, I will make sure that I email the other 2 winners after I hear from him. Oh, I got it. Vince wants the flowers. Perfect. Great. So Vince, that's that. The flowers are yours. Kay, you're next. You get to choose next. Once Kay lets me know what she wants, we will make sure that Tana gets the last one. Yay. Does anybody have any more questions? Anybody? Because I'm going to sneak out of here. I got lots of laundry and stuff to do before we fly out, like at 4 o'clock in the morning this time. So anyway, thank you guys for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. It was quick and easy. When I get back, I will schedule another one and another workshop. And I look forward to teaching you some new techniques using some of the new products coming out. And it's going to be fun. So yeah, you can see my dog was really excited about this whole workshop laying back there. I don't think she even moved once, did she? So anyway, thanks you guys. Have a great night, and I appreciate it. Okay, bye-bye.